Once upon a time, in a corner of Lagos that the sun forgets, lived a girl named Ma. Her name meant beauty, but life didn't care. Her parents had died in a fire, flames licking their skin, as their screams echoed through the village. Relatives swooped in like vultures, took the land, took the money, but left Umma behind like yesterday's bones. She begged for survival, her skin kissed by the dust of buses and the sweat of streets. She slept under bridges. Her blankets were torn cotton, her lullaby the honk of downfall buses. But Umma was beautiful, not the fake kind, but the kind that made even the wicked pause. And beauty in the wrong hands is bait. One night, Lagos was unusually quiet. The moon hung low, like it was watching. Mma hadn't eaten all day. Her ribs whispered against each other. Her legs were weak. That's when she appeared. An old woman with grey braids and a crooked basket. She smiled and said, "You look hungry, my child." She offered a plate of jollof rice, steaming with smoked fish and fried plantain. Mma didn't ask. She devoured it, bite after bite, even after her stomach protested. It was the most delicious thing she had tasted in months. She licked the plates clean. Then her eyes became heavy. Her body relaxed. She crawled to an unusual sleeping corner under the bridge and slept like a corpse. She woke up not to buses, but to blood symbols and burning candles. Mma was tied up, legs, hands, and mouth. Around her were other girls, unconscious, teenagers like her, beautiful and poor. The door creaked. In walked the juju man, with cowries hanging from his belt and darkness in his eyes. He paused. He stared. Then in shock he shouted, "This one, the spirit have rejected her." He pointed directly at Mma. "The shrine does not want her blood." Before she could understand, her ropes were cut, but she was flung into the bush like rotten sacrifice. She ran fast, blind and terrified. Branches tore her feet, thorns kissed her ankles. But Mma didn't stop. She ran from one kind of death straight into another. Hours later, as dawn prepared to stretch its arms, Mma stumbled into a place she had never seen before. Oyigbo, the land of polished cars, white gates, and golden perfume. Her feet bled, her eyes widened. Then she saw it. A boutique, big, glorious, glass windows, gowns like royalty, and mannequins. They didn't look like plastic, they looked alive. She stood there, stunned, until the boutique door opened. A tall, light skinned woman in black heels walked out. "You like the dress?" she asked with a soft voice. Mma nodded her head. The woman smiled and said, "Come inside, my dear." Inside the boutique, everything glittered. The floor was marble. The air smelled like imported oud. "I am Madame T," the woman said. "You are perfect and I will make you beautiful." She led Mma into a luxury shower, rose water, silk towel, and clean clothes. Then she handed Mma a golden dress and said to her, "Put it on." Mma did. She looked divine. "You are the one," Madame T said, clapping her hands over her head once. Then from the curtain behind, a tall man emerged, bowed, silent. His hands were gloved. He walked to Mma. Before she could ask, a needle pierced her scalp. Darkness swept in like a flood. When Mma opened her eyes, she could not move. She was in a dark room inside a coffin, her body stiff, her chest tight. For 10 hours she lay there awake, unable to scream, as chants hummed around her. The ritual had worked. She had been bonded, her soul bonded to the spirit of the coffin, the ancient binding spell used by Madame T to transform flesh into flawless stillness. Then silently she was lifted and placed behind the boutique's wide glass window, dressed, posed, and frozen. Now she is a mannequin, but her eyes were still alive. That night, when the boutique closed, the lights went off, and then it began. The mannequins whispered, "She's new. She still has blood in her. How did she get caught?" Then a soft voice behind her whispered directly into her soul, "I am Beatrice, 3 years trapped in this mannequin. There is no escape, not once your spirit is bound by the coffin." Ma trembled inside. Each mannequin was once a girl, from Port Harcourt, Aba, Makodi, girls with dreams, with laughter. Now their lips were painted red, their arms were arranged in seductive poses, forever frozen, forever watched. Mma wanted to scream, but her jaw couldn't move. Only her thoughts cried. Madame T's real name was Kadumma the seamstress. Long ago she was cursed, her beauty stolen, her youth fading. In desperation, she turned to an ancient cult. They gave her youth, demanded beauty in return. She now traps girls, poor, beautiful, and abandoned ones. Each one feed her boutique's power. Each mannequin brings wealth to whomever owns it. The boutique was more than a shop. It was a spiritual vault, a graveyard of stolen lives. But spirits don't stay silent forever. One afternoon, a rich woman, Mama Chica, an old prophetess, walked into the boutique. As she browsed, she paused in front of Umma. Her eyes narrowed. She stepped closer, then whispered, "This one is alive." Madame T laughed nervously. Our mannequins are very realistic. But Mama Chica walked out quietly and returned that night with fire and salt. They poured anointing oil. They chanted. They lit candles of fire. The boutique shook. Glass shattered. Voices screamed from within the mannequins. Some broke, some melted, and some wept. And Madame T, she ran into the shadows, never to be seen again. Mma collapsed in the rubble. She was alive, but changed. Her beauty was gone. Her body was stiff for weeks, but her soul stronger. Now she walks the street, not as a beggar, but as a voice, warning girls and telling her story. Because even today, some boutiques still display mannequins that look too human. And if you stare long enough, they might blink. From this story, the lessons to learn. Lesson number one: beware of easy gifts when you are most desperate. Hunger weakens judgment. Lesson number two: not every opportunity is a blessing. Some are spiritual traps dressed in lace. Lesson number three: the world exploits the poor, but the poor must not give up their soul to escape poverty. And the final lesson: when something looks too good to be true, look twice, then walk away. So the next time you see a mannequin staring too hard, don't blink first. She may be the whisper behind the glass. This is Whispers of Uche, where every whisper is a window to the unseen. Until the next whisper, stay awake and stay listening.